Hello everybody, it's Mimi J, and this is part 2 of getting ready for the craft fair videos. Early stages, just showing you some things that I have made. I finished the notebooks, or just, a few of them. And these are basically finished, but I am working on the packaging. These are magnets. They're actually resin magnets, and they're in the little bottle cap bezels, which have been around for a while, so that's not anything new, but it's new to me, at least in part, in making magnets out of them. I used to make pendants. These are a little glittery. I don't usually put much glitter in things, but once in a while. And a little bit of an embellishment here. And where I am right now is I've mounted a bunch of them on the cards and have only just sort of started packaging. These are some, and you're going to want to let them cure quite a while before you actually put them in a package like this. These are cured for months and months, actually. So they're good to go, and were when I put them in this. And as you can see, it's the little card. My bag's just a tad large, but it'll do. I didn't want to go out and buy special bag size just for these, although I may. I was just playing with the packaging. It's not quite done. I've used a card here that's the same as what I'm using for the backs. They're double-sided, and just they come that size. That's a nice presentation. I've just folded the card over, put one staple here, and I am going to go back and make a little paper bow with my memory keepers board that I have for that, and glue it right here, and then it will look more finished with a pretty bow on it. And still doesn't cost a lot to do these. I'll just show you. I do have quite a few of these made up in different patterns. The resin, this is not, okay, so you punch them out, and I actually worked with ice resin for these. Ice resin can be very temperamental. It can cause you a lot of problems. So the main problems I have had with ice resin and have had to try to work out are that the paper, if you don't treat it with some kind of medium, coat it with that, it's too porous, and your ice resin can seep into it and give you results that you weren't quite counting on, discolorations and dulling of colors, and you can prevent that by using some sort of coating. I used I don't think it was this particular one, but it was a gel medium to coat the paper and let that dry. And even coat around the edges, coat both sides and around the edges, and hopefully that will work for you. I'm interested in knowing if you have other tips. The less porous your paper is, the better off you are in working with resin and most any kind of resins, I think. I've worked with a couple of different ones, and the Easy Cast, and they're pretty similar, at least in the effect that you want to get and how to work with them. So as you can see, these are really very clear, and the other problem I have frequently with ice resin is the problem anybody who works with ice resin is familiar with. It's the bubbles, and you have to be really vigilant and watching for those. It has to dry a long time, and I'm told that cold, if you put them in the refrigerator, that might work. I have not tried that. I would watch them very diligently, and any bubbles that would come, I would pop them as they came up. And still, because ice resin takes a long time to really dry and even longer to cure, so you want to, as I say, just come back, watch it pop the little bubbles with a toothpick or a pen, something like that. It may not be worth it to you. If I love the glossy effect, and I love just the way things look with it, but it can be a real pain in the butt. So but mainly it's the bubbles, and being sure that it's level when you leave it to dry so that you don't get lopsided things. And something to know or think about, if you're doing more than just the picture with some kind of paint or something on it, glitter is not going to hurt much of anything. But if you start putting little embellishments in, then and you want that 3D effect, which can be absolutely gorgeous, you want to be really careful, even more careful about the bubbles, because I have had things sit overnight and they maybe have been drying for several hours, but in the morning I'll get up, I'll go to bed, there are no bubbles anywhere, and I'm just feeling good about it and thinking, okay, well, good. But I'll get up in the morning and there those stinking little bubbles will be. I've gotten it down where I almost don't get any bubbles, but even with everything there, doing everything just as carefully as you can. And I've used UV lights, even though I don't know that this is a UV resin, and that does seem to help. I think that has helped some. But you can do everything right and still get up and have a little bubble and in one or two pieces. But usually I don't have many, and this little embellishment right here was put on after everything because there was a tiny little bubble there. So I put that there and covered it up. Nobody would ever know that it was there. So it's just kind of working with the mediums, and I don't think there's anything else I have to say about ice resin. These little Hello Kitty ones are cute, and they did not all have bubbles, but I just wanted to embellish them a little bit more. And again, I glued these on with E6000 afterwards, and I'd suggest that if you're having problems with bubbles. But by all means, experiment and try different things. See what works for you. So probably that one will just stay like it is. More here, Marie Antoinette with wings there. All right, these are pretty much the same, and these were actually printed just on an inkjet printer. Yeah, so little altered images. So inkjet worked fine for me, and with these that are really cute. This is just another little set, and yeah, why so serious? Pleasure. I used to teach film. I miss teaching film. I don't miss teaching grammar so much, but I see them better if they're not in the package. This little set is cute. I doubt you can tell this way, but you can. These two are very glossy, and I went back and put a little glitter just in a place there. These are more matte looking, and the reason for that, if you can tell, maybe you can't, is that I had some resin molds, and I put a little bit of the resin in the bottom of the mold, put the picture face down, and then put more resin on top. And so it pushes the picture forward, and somehow they came out more matte, and they're a little bit raised, which, excuse me, I doubt you can tell, but maybe. So, and then just one more with the this kind of sepia colored in the women. And that's all I have for those. I am working on some that I've not done before, but I think everybody and his brother probably have. Using the glossy accents, I am just now trying out glossy accents on different things because I'm just getting back into crafting. I retired about 2 years ago from teaching. And you know I'm swimming in the money because I'm a retired teacher in North Carolina. I am finding that you get some of the same problems with the glossy accents that you do with the resin, but of course your drying time is much better. I'm still going to need to coat things and make sure that I take that step working with them. And there are tons of videos on how to make these. I think this one came out really, really nicely. I did not buy the gems from the dollar store or Michael's for this particular one. I got these on Amazon. Sorry, my husband's home. I'm secretary now. Different hat. Be back. Okay, I'm back. And honestly, I do not remember where I was. Okay, so this one turned out, I think, really well. And so I'm going to make some more of these and put them on cards like the others. And you just glue the magnet on the back. I did sand the sides of this. I may need to go over it a little bit more. Just make sure you're working with a clean surface here. I cleaned my little stones with just rubbing alcohol and a soft cloth before I used them. And like I said, I used glossy accents on these. They turned out fine for the most part, but there are some papers that you're really going to have to coat first if you don't want some discoloration. Discolorations, imperfections, you have to decide what works and what doesn't. And I think this turned out really well. It's from a napkin, actually. And again, I need to clean it up again. It's got a few smudges. And I like that. If the stones are clear, not chipped, you do oftentimes find a lot of them like that. And the best ones I have found were at Joann's, but they were more expensive too. They had very few flaws. Really, the ones that have no flaws are not quite as dimensional. These were great. Got these from Amazon. They're smaller, but I'm not tossing any because there are no chipped ones. They're all great, and I think 30 or 60 in the pack. It's been a little while. Well, that is it for part 2 of the making crafts for the craft fair. And this was magnets and working with resin. I will be making one more for this series. Part 3 will deal with making coasters and getting wrinkles out of napkins for use with decoupage. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will click like and subscribe and come back and see me again. Take care. Bye.